Remember when the Atom token, the one that powers the Cosmos ecosystem, used to give an APR of over 20% just to passively stake? After a recent parameter change, that number has been cut basically in half. But this is not necessarily all bad. You see, yield farmers, even DeFi beginners, are now incentivized to explore the ecosystem for higher APRs rather than sitting there waiting for their Atom tokens to accumulate just by staking. In this video, I'll show you 5 different Cosmos chains with protocols that offer APRs well into the triple digits. The best part is you'll be earning this yield not only on your Atom tokens, but also on your stablecoins. To add to the suspense, I'll just let you know that the highest yields will be found on a chain that most people probably never even thought to check, using a protocol that most people probably never even heard of before. If you're watching this video, you're probably already really smart, so we will get into these DeFi strategies right away. But I also know from what YouTube tells me that most of you are first time viewers. So I have to remind people and inform the new people that it helps content creators tremendously to like the video, share it, subscribe, set notifications so we can stay in touch. You'll get reminders for all of my upcoming content, which includes live streams, interviews, and tutorials just like this one. Now let's talk about the risks so we can get underway. And there are lots of risks. This is decentralized finance after all. Number one, there's smart contract risk. You're giving up custody of your tokens when you put them into a smart contract. There's bridge risk. I'm going to show you protocols that involve various bridge assets. There's the stablecoin depegging risk, of course. Devs could disappear on sabbatical. Validators could go AWOL. And the incentives that you see might be short lived. So it's best to check them out right away because they do fluctuate over time as more people find out about these protocols. And finally, anything you make from these DeFi strategies is always unrealized until you cash in those gains. So, without giving you financial advice, this is not a financial advice channel. Just keep some of these risks in mind. And finally, this video is sponsored content by the Atom Accelerator DAO. It's a grant program that wants to bring more attention to the Cosmos Hub, the Atom token. So this video is sponsored, and I will disclose it at the beginning of all my sponsored content. And I'll explain more about the grant itself at the very end of the video for those of you who are intrigued. So let's get started. It'll bring me to the first protocol. Here is osmosis. And just to let people know how the Cosmos ecosystem works, the Cosmos Hub, the one that uses the Atom token, it doesn't have its own applications. The applications for the ecosystem are found on other blockchains that are very easy to get to using the Cosmos Interoperability Protocol called IBC. This is Osmosis Dex. It's on the Osmosis chain, and it's a DEX, it's an AMM. So there are pools of tokens paired together to facilitate swaps. And here we have pool number 1251. It's an Atom USDC pool with a yield of 129%, which is nice, right? Atom's staking yield is around 12, 14%. So it's about 8 to 10 times higher. The only thing I have to say about this particular pool and a lot of the pools on Osmosis is it's going to take the beginner a little while to understand how they work. This is a supercharged pool, meaning it's using concentrated liquidity, and your liquidity position has to be managed in order to get that full yield. And there are some options for third party apps to manage the position for you. You'll have to check down here and you can learn a little bit about it. But you know what? Triple digit yield right out of the gate, like I promised. Atom USDC, which is native USDC to the Cosmos ecosystem. On to protocol number 2. Here is Nolus protocol, which, yes, it has its own blockchain. They'll also be putting an application right in the Cosmos, um, consumer chain called Neutron. And this is a lending platform. It's not an AMM. And the reason why I want to show you this is because, and you can't see the menu here, but I'm going to click the button that says earn. And when I click earn, you can see that there's an option here for USDC. It says compounding, and you could supply USDC to the protocol. As I move my mouse away, you can see that it's giving a yield of 9.65% plus another 13% in Nolus tokens. So when I click this, and I don't think, I don't have any right now in this particular wallet, but you'll have the option to supply and then withdraw just pure stable coins and still get a pretty good yield. Right now on Coinbase, Coinbase does have a yield for stablecoins. It's 5%, which is about the same as a CD right now, given the interest rates. Here you have a chance to earn about four times that, four and a half times that with the Nolus protocol. And by the way, all the applications that we look at today, I'll link them down below. I definitely recommend, even if you don't want to lock up tokens right now, you feel it's a little risky, it's worth playing around with these just to get used to these different applications and get more experienced using them. You might be able to help somebody else someday, even if you yourself feel like this is not your thing right now. But let's go to protocol number 3. Here is none other than Kujira. Kujira is its own blockchain. There's a suite of DeFi applications on this chain. One of them is called Bo, and it's a DEX similar to Osmosis, where you're pairing tokens with each other so people can do swaps easily. And this pool is Atom and USK. What's USK? Well, this is the stable coin from Kujira. This is their stable coin, and they're offering 52% APR. It gives the breakdown here. You're getting 7% in trading fees and then another 44% for staking. So what you would do is supply each token equal amounts, $100 in Atom, $100 in USK, and you would click here to provide liquidity. You would enter it in, and yeah, you can then stake in order to earn some extra yield. And what I like about Kujira is, even if you're not a fan of Bo, although there is a lot of information here compared to most dexes, and they kind of explain what you're doing, there's another UI that you could use called Manta, and we'll check that out next. Here's Manta, and I wanted to show you this because there are some good APRs here. You could see that Bo actually has Manta beat on the Atom USK pool. But if you have extra stable coins, there are some other pools that look pretty attractive if you're farming and you want to take on that risk. And you could see it says Bo, Bo, Bo here. That's because Manta is an application that draws liquidity from Bo. It sits on top of Kujira and works with it and just gives users a slightly different experience because they're able to incentivize some of these pools even with their own token. And that reminds me, one of the risks to supplying liquidity is that you don't always get your yield in the token that you think you're getting. So just make sure you double check and you're earning yield in a token that you actually want to receive in return for supplying liquidity for these different Cosmos ecosystem applications. All right, Shade Protocol, a privacy preserving DeFi suite on the secret network. And here we have uh, the liquidity pools for Shade Swap, right? I could click here, I could swap tokens, or I can go to pools and I could search up a token that I have and find some attractive pairings for myself. Here, I think this pool is extremely interesting for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's paired with Silk. Silk is a privacy preserving stablecoin for the Shade application. It's actually pegged to a basket of assets, and it's paired with this ST Atom. So it's not quite Atom, it's a staking derivative. What you would do is, this is from Stride, and you would bring it over to Secret Network. You can wrap it, which gives it the privacy features, and then you could pair it with Silk. What's really cool about this is you get this 44% APR, which, it's not as high as a couple of the other ones we've looked at. But since this is a liquid staking derivative, you're still earning some staking rewards from your original Atom, right? So the way staking derivatives work are um, you stake your Atom, and then through a protocol called Stride, you would then get a derivative, and you still earn on that Atom, but now you could use this derivative in DeFi applications like Shade. And you could see there are a couple of different pools involving Atom or its staking derivative. So there you go. Just wanted to show you this, and a lot of good apps will let you search the pool. And let's say I have extra stable coins. Let's say I could just search what stable coin I have and look for some pools. Here's Silk and some wrapped staked ETH. Here's Silk and Shade, which is the governance token for Shade Protocol. And look, here's just a stablecoin, other stablecoin pool, 11%. So you have a lot of options, and these apps are user friendly, and you have a lot of different tokens that you could pair with Atom or a stablecoin to get these yields. Here is our last protocol, and this one's on a Kava network, which is a Cosmos chain. It's a little tricky because you use MetaMask instead of the typical, Kepler wallet or Leap wallet that we have in Cosmos, but they've got a good DeFi suite here as well, Kinetics. And Kinetics does sponsor some of my content, or will be sponsoring some of my content, just as a disclaimer. And what I like about this is using MetaMask, you might be able to get some people to enter the ecosystem inadvertently because they already have MetaMask set up from Ethereum. And here we go. We've got an Atom pool with wrapped Kava. Kava is the layer one token on the network. And through Kinetics, they're offering two different rewards for this pool. You're getting 113%. This is a DEX, just like Osmosis, Shade, or Bow. And then here's a stablecoin pool, Atom USDT, which is Tether. So we've gone through several different stablecoins, and not only Atom, but staked Atom. And like I said before, you've got lots of options here. It's worth it to do some exploring. And Kinetics is, primarily a perps dex, but you could supply liquidity. You could supply liquidity here under farm, right? On Nolus, it said earn, and on Kinetics, it says farm, and you would just get into the pool this way, right? You would, depending on what you have, whatever you have less of, you just hit max, it will pair it up for you, and then you deposit, you stake, nice little dashboard for claiming your rewards. But I bet you a lot of people forget about Kava because it's a MetaMask chain, but you can get Kava tokens in on Osmosis and a couple of other dexes. And I will make a video on how to get those over to your MetaMask. But look, say what you want. A lot of people use MetaMask. This is another option for those people. All right, not my longest video, but we went through a lot. We actually went through 6 protocols, all these different yields in Cosmos, and you can see Cosmos. There are some DeFi applications that are still giving good yield, even though we're beyond that initial kind of startup moment where you know tokens are pouring into the ecosystem to incentivize liquidity. Some people think that was a thing of the last bull market, but here we go. End of the bear, beginning of the new bull. We've got pretty good DeFi in the Cosmos. And before I peace out, just to give some more information about that grant I received, like I said, it was from the Atom Accelerator DAO, and as part of my deal, I'm going to do videos on Atom, Cosmos Hub, and anything that's directly related to it. I'm Cosmos Joe. I like to focus on Cosmos, and that's what I'm going to do. In exchange for the grant, I also have to provide different statistics and metrics to show that people are actually watching my videos. So please like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Join my live stream, engage in the chat, check out one of my Twitter spaces. Happy to have you. And I would love to hear down below if I missed any good yields somewhere else, or if you feel certain protocols, despite slightly lower yields, are better than others for various reasons. Have a great one. Thanks for watching. Good luck out there in the DeFi world.